Hello, I'm Caleb with Think Bold.
I'm Kady Yellow. I'm your Senior Director of Placemaking and Events at Downtown Vision.
Yes, and today we're going to go through a couple of questions asking Miss Kady about what she does and how she's going to impact the city. So first, I want to ask, what is placemaking?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's an exciting field that I've just been pioneering for about 10 years now.
Mhm.
Essentially, it's taking city processes, planning, community engagement, and shaking it up.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's going away from the typical model where um, business folks, government officials lead and how spaces are designed and funded and put it to the power of the people.
Yes.
So it's a resident-led process where we just look at neighborhoods and downtowns and business districts from a different perspective.
Yeah, and I think that's a very interesting system, and I really want to know about the pieces. So, really about your team and how you guys function. So, what are some things that you do on a day-to-day basis to complete a lot of these goals that you've been fulfilling?
Yeah, so I work for the Business Improvement District, Downtown Vision. It's a model that has taken over across the country. Essentially, we have a very specific area that we look to create vibrancy,
Yeah.
healthy business system environments in, and help improve property values and property owners' stakehold in our district. So our strategy for that is investing in marketing, placemaking, events, research, district services where we keep it clean and safe with our ambassador program. Day to day, we're doing a ton of paperwork,
Yeah.
a lot of fundraising, and then a lot of project management.
Yeah. So when you describe it, what it sounds like to me is like the people are getting a return of their investment for just living here and operating here, which sounds amazing to be honest, because it puts a lot of power and decision to the hands of the people and then also incentivizes them to grow this area and then attract more people. So I know you guys are focused on like art, also entertainment. And I've seen you around certain venues. I know Jacksonville has a very live entertainment music community, and a lot of people are looking forward to seeing, the pot's been bubbling, the top blow off for it. And you have been doing some work with festivals and music, so I want to know like how much effort have you been invested into that? Because I know that's a like hot thing. That's a spotlight right there for Jacksonville.
Yeah, all of our main events are focused around art and culture and music. We're really well known for carrying the baton of the tradition of Art Walk. It's over
Yes.
20 years old. It's something our team manages. We also birthed the highly coveted Sip and Stroll on the South Bank. So we take the River Walk and convert it into like a linear music festival essentially every third Thursday. And then we're really famous for Jack's River Jams, the music festival in April. So every Thursday in April, we transform a vacant green lot into a high quality, full production concert venue and provide free, really nationally touring acts, concerts to our people here in Duval.
And I feel like a lot of the things that you're doing are so like you have your hands on the city, just making a lot of different power moves, setting up all those different things. And that's only one aspect, the entertainment and the art, that you guys are doing major things. And I just want to know, like, how does your team come up with these things to think bold and take charge to innovate in that way?
Yeah, that's such a great question. So I manage the placemaking and events department. I just spoke to kind of our events portfolio. We're also investing in placemaking as a vibrancy strategy for the business improvement district. And the way that we're thinking bold is we challenge Duval to think bold and we collaborate. So one thing we're doing just in our first few years of the launch is we're having folks see abandoned storefronts as galleries.
Yeah.
Right, that's a bold investment in imagination. We're turning alleys into concert venues and popping up shows in the little in-between spaces.
Yes.
So we're investing in imagination and play as a strategy for economic development. My team is Haley Tinkle and Phoebe Mullis. They're my two full-time employees, and between the three of us, we manage that department in the full portfolio. Another thing we do to think bold is we're just shaking up, again, how you typically govern a space,
Yes.
right? The big global issue around placemaking is the folks who are governing public space and programming it and funding it aren't the end user. I
Yes.
always kind of compare it to like planning a family reunion for a family you don't know. Like
Yeah.
so many issues come about
Yeah.
that. So we're just saying, hang on a second, let's bring people into the table and shake up the rooms where the thinking and decisions happen.
Yes.
So we're taking just everyday average citizens and bringing them to the table And it's diversifying thought, it's diversifying decision making, and that's like the bold step we're taking as the Business Improvement District, is investing in other people's ideas through our placemaking program.
Yeah, and like that strategy to me is like that. There's always this idea where it's like you can't execute ideas like that. It's always about this big investor somewhere in a penthouse, you know, so far from the people. But it's like that isolation doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be the narrative of a city. And being able to change that narrative of the city begins to change the conversations that you may not directly be involved in, but indirectly. So you guys are beginning to change the culture, what the community is. And then also it's just very rewarding to hear how we're reinvesting in the people, by the people, for the people.
It just
You know?
works. We're huge believers in social capital.
Yes.
It's that idea, like, if you have great neighbors, you can always borrow sugar and eggs, or if your car
Yes.
breaks down, right? If you're not good with your neighbors, you're not able to move so productively in society. So we take that same principle and we put people in the room who otherwise wouldn't have met. So like the developer you referenced is now meeting the artists and collaborating on projects. We facilitated so many collaborations between property owners and artists. And in my practice in placemaking here in Northeast Florida, I think there is no problem an artist can't solve.
Yes.
Like, that's a really bold way to address the world.
True.
So I just truly believe in our process. I'm happy to implement it in Jacksonville and really proud to work for the Business Improvement District.
And just as a final thought to that, and that I really value about what you're telling me, is that when people have the information and when people have the spaces to receive the information, the partners to execute it, that's when they start to see how real and how much power they have as an individual. And then they take charge of more things. So I feel like you guys are just the chain reaction that Jacksonville really needs,
Yeah.
you know? And it's amazing. But this has been Think Bold interview with Miss Kady with Placemaking and Downtown Vision. And that's amazing what she told us about how she and her team in downtown is thinking bold. Thank you guys.